Hey guys, what's going on? Kel back here yet again, representing the 40k YouTube channel, bringing you another Warhammer 40,000 related video. This time it's another faction focus video all about the Thousand Sons, the followers of Tzeentch, the followers of Magnus the Red. But before we do that, as always, big shout out to everyone who has subscribed to the channel up to now. Thank you very much, and to those of you who have liked the videos and have commented on the videos, it is really helpful, really useful. It's muchly appreciated. Me and Carl cannot thank you enough, so thank you guys, thank you very much. If you're new to the channel, we are 40k. We post Warhammer 40,000 content every single day, sometimes multiple times a day, depending on how much news we have to put out there and review. We do news, hints, tips and reviews, painting videos, and like I keep saying, when lockdown's over, more things like battle reports. But today's video is a faction focused video all about the Thousand Sons. So, all may be dust, but that shouldn't get in the way of a righteously kicking face in the name of Tzeentch, Magnus and the Long War. If you're a true follower of Tzeentch, you'll know that all change is good. Indeed, playtester Justin Curtis has all sorts of good news and tactical tips for you. And here we see some Thousand Sons, led by, of course, Magnus the Red. Great looking model, massively powerful psychic unit. And we have some occult terminators, some normal marines, a rhino there. Normally in the pictures there's a lot of change, but there isn't a lot of change in this one. And Ahriman should be in there somewhere, but I can't quite see him. Anyway, we'll get on, because I think this article is a bit longer than the rest. So who are they? The Thousand Sons were the chosen space marines of Tzeentch, the god of magic and change. Once, they were learned brethren of sorcerers and psychers, every man a scholar and a warrior both. However, in an attempt to revenge the rampant mutations that blighted their legion, the mage known as Ahriman damned his kin forever, transforming all but the most potent psychers into mindless dust trapped in power armor. Now, across the galaxy, ancient Thousand Son sorcerers lead war bands of automata like rubric marines in search of knowledge and revenge, unleashing sanity-shattering powers and annihilating their foes in hills of warp-blessed ammunition. And there we are. And this is a picture. Ahriman is the guy on the left with the big staff and with the warp fire cut, the green warp fire coming out his hand. The Thousand Sons famously do not get on with the Space Wolves, and there we can see Magnus fighting, I think that's Logan Grimnar. This might be the battle where Logan Grimnar puts like a really strong, really powerful wound on Magnus. So how are they playing the new edition? You may remember Justin from our Chaos Space Marines faction focus. To refresh your memory, he's both a playtester who helps balance the game and a top-tier tournament player. Justin says, I was asked to help shed some light on how things will be changing for Thousand Sons in the new edition. So here are some highlights for my fellow sorcerers to look forward to. First off, they've designed a whole new secondary objective archetype just for us, though the Eldari and Tyranids and even certain librarians may disagree with this statement. We're definitely one of the best positioned armies to make use of the new psychic actions mechanic. That's very true. Can't really argue with that one. One of the guys who I play with, Steve, he has a great Thousand Sons army, really well painted, and this video will interest him greatly. So, performing psychic actions. Some mission rules and objectives require a unit to perform a psychic action. This represents a psychic performing all manner of things, ranging from a scry in the future, reading the minds of enemy leaders, calming the tides of the warp, enacting a demonic rite, and so on. A psychic unit from your army can attempt to perform a psychic action in its psychic phase instead of attempting to manifest any psychic powers. Okay. A psychic unit cannot attempt to perform a psychic action if it has fallen back this turn, or if it is also attempting to perform another action. A psychic unit can only attempt to perform one psychic action like per battle round. One psychic action a battle round. To perform a psychic action with the psychic unit, you must first pass a psychic test in the same manner as if you were attempting to manifest psychic power. If the rules of the psychic test is a double 1 or a double 6, the psychic unit attempting the psychic action immediately suffers perils of the warp. If the psychic unit is destroyed as a result, the psychic action automatically fails. The opposing player can then select one of their psychic units that was in 24 inches of the psychic unit attempting to perform a psychic action and attempt to deny that action in the same manner as if they were attempting to deny a psychic power by passing a deny the witch test. Okay, so it's basically the same as like manifesting a psychic power, but it has slightly different word in it. A psychic action, not a psychic like spell or test, and you can still deny it within 24 inches. Cool. So traditionally our models interact with the game almost entirely by shooting or punching or smiting each other. The actions mechanic has been introduced to allow a more thematic means for armies to interact with each other or with the battlefield itself. In game terms, this is usually expressed by a secondary objective and actions that can be performed to achieve victory points. Psychic actions can only be performed by psychers, and this means there's a direct means for Thousand Suns players to influence the outcome of the game via their mastery of the psychic phase, the psychic actions and secondary objectives. While we're here, now's a good time to check in on psychic actions and how they interact with your battles. Justin was right to be very excited about these. Psychic-heavy armies have 3 rather excellent secondary objectives to choose from in their match player battles, giving you plenty of ways to score some all-important victory points. Take mental interrogation. Your frontline psychers will be able to score you points, presumably representing knowledge torn from the minds of the unwilling. Even if it doesn't secure you victory, it is a great excuse to be an extremely evil laugh. Now I'm quite interested in this, because in my sort of 2,000 point army list, I'm hopefully, depending on points and adjustments and things like that, I'm hopefully going to be fielding 3 Phobos librarians. So I'm hoping this is going to be something that I can use as well. You can score 3 victory points each time you successfully complete the following psychic action: mental interrogation, psychic action, warp charge value of 4. Okay. One psychic character from your army can attempt to perform this psychic action in your psychic phase if it's within 18 inches of an enemy character model. Okay, so it's got a low warp charge value. You can score 3 victory points if you successfully complete the following psychic action: mental interrogation. 3 victory points is actually really good for a warp charge value of 4. Now with my army as well, I take knowledge as power. So with any psychic test, I can re-roll any 1s. So that's, statistically, that would come up quite often for me. That's interesting. I like that. Cool. Back to Justin for some more tips. Justin then goes on to say, here's another big one. Have you ever watched our dear Primarch get blasted off the table before he's even got an opportunity to protect himself? Well, the return of the strategic reserves mechanic ensures that you can keep Magnus safe when necessary and be certain he'll get a chance to act before anyone gets to point any heavy weapons his direction. While there is a price to be paid for making use of strategic reserves, I think you can agree that it will be worth it in cases where it helps Magnus live. Very true. Whenever Magnus is on the board, or for that matter Mortarion, they are targeted, shot off the board. Skilled players are able to get them off the board turn 1 and turn 2, even though they are really good models and powerful models. Unless you get first turn with them, they can be a bit of a bullseye. So Justin says, the addition presents some new challenges and opportunities now that the Psychers can no longer manifest powers after falling back. Whilst not concerning to us as it may be for some, after all, a Demon Prince can handle himself in combat, and the Black Staff of Ahriman isn't just for show. It's important to know that you'll need to properly protect your characters when the need for their powers outweighs their ability to scrap. If you don't think your sorcerers are up to the fight, you'll want them safely behind a line of devoted bodyguards to ensure your psychic phase isn't disrupted. And then we have an interpretation. So Magnus is behind some Rubik Marines there. There's a... what else is there? There's some Monsters of Tzeentch. Ahriman's there, I think. an exalted sorcerer, and all kinds of shenanigans. So that's what they're saying. Stick Ahriman behind some of the units, give them some cover. So key units. Just as a few units we'd recommend, as we do, starting with Scarab Occult Terminators. Now these guys are cool. There's lots of detail in these models. And they are really powerful on the board. Steve, when I've played against these, often fields a unit of these, and I'm really wary every time they come on the board because they can put out some serious firepower. And Justin says, speaking of bodyguards, the way characters are protected in the shooting phase is changing, and you'll need to respond to enemy attempts to punch through your lines and attack your psychers. As mobility isn't exactly a strength of the Rubricae, I'd highly recommend a unit of 2 Rubric Marines or Scarab Occult Terminators from the Cult of Duplicity. Sorcerer's Facade is a great means to reposition these slow-moving but resilient minions to protect your own characters or make an attempt at assassinating your foe's favourite hero. And the psychic power, Sorcerer's Facade. Sorcerer's Facade has a war chart value of 7. If manifested, select one friendly Cult of Duplicity unit within 6 inches of this psyche. Remove that unit from the battlefield, then set it up anywhere on the battlefield that's more than 9 inches away from any enemy models that unit is treating as have moved this turn. Okay. And here we have the big boy, Magnus the Red, cracking looking model. If painted properly, it is, you know, one of the best things that Games Workshop's ever put out. Honestly, it is. The detail in his armour, his staff, his sheer size is really impressive. Absolutely brilliant model. Of course, every Thousand Sons army, you want at least consider taking Magnus. But what if you don't want to pay the command points for an auxiliary detachment? Well, good news, thanks to the Supreme Command Detachment, you won't have to. Supreme Command Detachment command point cost is 0. Restrictions. You can only include 1 Supreme Command Detachment in your army. This detachment can only include 1 Primarch, Demon Prince, or Supreme Commander unit, and this unit must be selected as your Warlord. Okay, there was a rumour the Supreme Command Detachments were going to go the distance. How you can work them now? Supreme Command Detachment, you get 1 extra CP if you field 3 HQ units, I believe. So this doesn't cost anything, but it's a way to get big units like Primarchs and stuff like that on the board at a cheaper cost. Command benefits. Select one of the following. 4+ command points if your army includes any brigade detachment, plus 3 command points if your army includes any battalion detachments, plus 2 command points if your army includes any patrol detachments. The Supreme Command Detachment ensures that adding some of the 41st Millennium's most legendary commanders to your army doesn't penalise you on command points. After all, Rebuke Guilliman, Mortarion and Magnus the Red were all Supreme Tacticians. This detachment is the perfect way to add Magnus to a Thousand Sons force, refunding you for a single brigade, battalion or patrol detachment. Will you be playing Thousand Sons the New Edition? Excited by psychic actions? Give us your thoughts on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter, and check back soon for even more faction focus. But as always guys, you're already here. Leave your comments with me and Cole. Leave your comments on the 40 Call page. We love reading them. We respond to every single comment. So put them here and we'll read through them. But that's going to be it guys. What are your thoughts on this video? Any Thousand Sons players out there like Steve? Looking forward to the new rules in 9th edition. Now it looks like it's easier to field Magnus the Red. Anyone a bit wary of the Thousand Sons? What are the biggest changes for 9th edition going to be for every army? Any comments guys, all welcome. As I said at the beginning, we are 40 Call. We post Warhammer 40,000 content every single day just like this and other types of videos once lockdown is up. If you're still watching the video, hit the like button. It really does a massive benefit to a small channel like this because of the way that the YouTube mechanics and stuff work. And if you're really impressed by what we do, you can hit that subscribe button. We're almost at 100 subs and it would be great to get there within, let's say, a week. Let's say by Friday. Get to 100 subs by Friday and we'll have a little party. But that's going to be it guys. Thank you very much for watching. This is Kel signing out, saying stay safe, look after each other, and until next time guys, we'll see you all later.